Good morning, class. I'm going to use this format to give you a quick rundown on the answers for that first module, that first handout I gave you. I figure this format might be more familiar to you because this is the same software that a lot of your favorite YouTubers use, actually, if you're into YouTube. I know a lot of gamers use it. All right, moving right along. Here's the first handout I gave you guys, the essay structure. I want to go through the answers very quickly, make sure you're prepared for it, and mention a couple of things that you should have had in it. So what is an essay? The answer to this question, an essay is a group of related paragraphs about one single topic. What I'm looking for in your answers is that you identify that it's a group of paragraphs and that they all center around one main idea or one central concept. Okay? State that however you want, but make sure you get the concept of multiple paragraphs all working towards one common goal of explaining one main idea. Question number 2. Where is the thesis statement located? This is the first sentence. Sorry, take that back. It's the last sentence of your introduction. Okay, so it's in the first paragraph, but that's not enough. You can't just say it's in the first paragraph or it's in the introductory paragraph. You need to tell me where in the first paragraph it is. And 9 times out of 10, your teachers will expect your thesis statement to be the last sentence of your introduction. Keep that in mind. Next question, what needs to be clearly stated in an effective thesis statement? We talked about this last week. A main idea is a topic plus a point of view. So you need the topic, of course, one topic. Your point of view, what point are you making about it? And your subtopics. In a 5-paragraph essay, you'll have 3 subtopics, 1 for each paragraph in the body. But you can expand this. You can have the number of paragraphs in your essay depends on the number of subtopics in your thesis. Keep that in mind. So if you have 3 subtopics, you're going to have 3 body paragraphs plus the introduction and the conclusion. That gives you 5 paragraphs. If you happen to have 2 subtopics, you'd have a 4-paragraph essay. If you had 5 subtopics, you'd have a 7-paragraph essay. So, next question, what is a paragraph? It's a similar answer to the one about the essay. A paragraph is a group of related sentences about one central idea. So you need to capture that idea of having several sentences that work together to explain one main idea. All right? That main idea is stated in the topic sentence of each body paragraph. Okay, so this is relevant to the body paragraphs here, this section. Those 3 body paragraphs. So when I'm talking about what is a paragraph, it's those 3 body paragraphs that have to have that format. Now, where is the topic sentence? Remember, the topic sentence gives you the main idea of the paragraph. You expect that, just like when you're doing a reading test and you're given a question to find the main idea, you'll probably look at the first sentence, right? Well, same thing here. Your topic sentence should be the first sentence of your paragraph, and that should be the sentence that makes the point about the subtopic, which you want to then develop and defend in that paragraph. What needs to be in the topic sentence? Well, a topic sentence gives you the main idea of the paragraph. So what do you think the topic sentence is going to have? It's going to state the topic and the point of view. Of course, that's what gives us the magic formula for the main idea. Topic and the author's point of view about the topic. Okay, some kind of point you're making about the topic. Something to discuss about the topic. Not a statement of fact, better a statement of opinion, okay? An opinion on the topic. Without saying I think, I feel, or I believe. Stay away from those. Those are no-nos, right? Now, the next question, what is the function of a major supporting detail? On a test, you're actually going to have 2 parts of this. You're going to say, what is the function of a major detail, and how does it accomplish this? First, the function of a major detail. The function of a major supporting detail. Major supporting details provide reasons for the point of view expressed in the topic. Did you get that? A major detail gives you the reasons for whatever you said in the topic sentence. Specifically, reasons for the point of view or the point that you made about the topic. Reasons for the point that you made about the topic. So these are the reasons for the point about the topic. And you'll usually have 3 major details in your average paragraph. That's a good number to shoot for. 3 is a magic number, right? 3 major details, and this is kind of like what you learned before about paragraphs, maybe in elementary school, maybe middle school, something like that, a 5-sentence paragraph. You have topic sentence, reason, conclusion. Well, those are still there. Those are your topic sentence, your major details, and your conclusion. But you need the minor details. So, next question, what is the function of a minor detail? Well, the function of a minor detail is simply to explain the major details. So the minor details are very important because that's where you actually give the specifics that can actually flesh out or develop that major detail. So the function of a minor detail is to explain the major details. How does it do that? It does that by providing examples. That's the most common kind of minor detail. Facts, figures, statistics, numbers, measurements, specific, concrete details. The more specific they are, the better they're going to be if they're in the right place as minor details, okay? I noticed that the secret to A papers is how you work the major and minor details. You want to make a major detail, major reason first, then you explain it and provide an example, and then explain how your example proves that point. If you could do that with your major and minor details, the A is in the bag, okay? The rest is just grammar and sentence structure, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, moving on to the next page, I ask you to underline or identify a thesis statement and a topic sentences. Well, this is the thesis statement right here. Okay, this is what should be underlined. And on the test, I'm going to ask you to circle. I believe I have a little tool I can draw things with here. I'm going to ask you to circle your subtopics. In this one, my favorite escape is reading books that carry me to other times and places, such as spy stories, westerns, or horror stories. I know that spy stories, no fill, okay, that's gotta fill. Well, no fill anymore. Spy stories, I know that westerns, spy stories, and horror stories. Let me just copy this. So my three subtopics are these: spy stories, westerns, or horror stories. This is what I would expect to see circled. Why are those the subtopics? How do I know that they're the subtopics? How do I know? Because if you look in the rest of the essay, the topic sentence for each body paragraph, you have three subtopics, so you'll have three body paragraphs. That first sentence, the topic sentence, will mention that subtopic, okay? So here's the first topic sentence. This is the main idea of the paragraph that follows right here, right? That paragraph is all kind of summarized in one sentence here. I often escape first of all to spy stories. You'll notice that it says spy stories. Over here it says spy stories. So on the test, I'm going to ask you to circle the topics and the topic sentences. They should match. It should be the same word. Or if it's not the same word, it should be something very similar. So the ones that you should underline. The thesis statement is underlined here. The topic sentence here is underlined. And the topic sentence of the other two paragraphs should be underlined. Here's the next paragraph in the body. A second kind of escape I enjoy reading is the western. That should be underlined. And the third topic sentence in here, the final and most enjoyable escape I know are reading horror stories. Yes, I love horror. So you're going to, again, want to circle the topics in these topic sentences, right? Oh, there happened to be one right here. Horror stories is my third subtopic. Remember that thesis statement up here? We had those three subtopics: spy stories, westerns, and horror stories. I'm going to circle those in my topic sentences as well. Spy stories. Here goes the western. And the last one, on the third paragraph, the final most enjoyable escape I know is reading horror stories. And so this is what you would have to do on the test, okay? If we go to the next essay, might as well while we're here, right? The Africa essay. This essay is structured a little bit differently, but it has all the same elements, if you notice. The thesis statement here, which sentence is it? Just like you said on that first page, make sure you are paying attention to the answers that you put here. If you tell me the thesis statement is located at the end of the introduction, the last sentence in the introduction, then you'd better underline the last sentence of the introduction when I ask you to underline the thesis, because you're telling me where it is, and that's where we expect it to be. So if it's the last sentence of the introduction, well, this is the last sentence of the introduction, and that's my thesis statement. I don't need to just trust the location, though, because I can read it, and I could check with the rest of the essay very quickly, skim through it, or just simply look at the topic sentences of the next three paragraphs and see if they match up, and they do. This essay is about Africa. The point of view that they're expressing is that for me as a photographer, it's a place of stunning scenery and intriguing people, and home of the most impressive wildlife in the world. The point of view is actually kind of mixed in here: stunning, intriguing, and most impressive. And they're kind of integrating that with the subtopics. But still, they have a topic, Africa, which is very clear. Their point about Africa: stunning, intriguing, impressive. They got those buzzwords going on. And then the subtopics that they're going to explore in the body are going to be, here we go. Let me circle them once again. I could probably just paste it, right? There we go. So scenery is the first subtopic. How do I know? Because if I look at the first topic sentence in the body paragraph, the first body paragraph, I see this: when I visit Nairobi in East Africa, I see a modern progressive city. But by driving out in almost any direction, I can find scenery which staggers my imagination. So that right there is the first topic sentence in here. And you'll notice that you see the same word, scenery, as you see in the thesis statement, scenery. Now, what was the next topic sentence? Stunning scenery and intriguing people. Okay, so we will circle people. And the last one is home of the most impressive wildlife. So the three subtopics in this one are scenery, people, and wildlife. And if you read on, you'll notice that this first body paragraph is about scenery. This second body paragraph is about people, the people of Africa. And the last one is about the wildlife. The topic sentence is the first sentence of each paragraph, right? So those that have to be underlined on the test. And you would have to circle the topic. So we said scenery, people, and wildlife. Those are subtopics. They also happen to be the topics of the paragraphs here. Scenery. Oh, sorry, not scenery. People. I do like what they do in this topics. And here's an example of how it's different, but they still include. This is different than the other essay, but they still include the necessary elements. What I like about this particular essay is that the topic sentence kind of gives a little shout out to the previous paragraph, but turns your attention quickly to the content of this paragraph. So it says, in addition to taking pictures of African scenery. So kind of saying, not only do I, is all this cool, but I also photograph the intriguing people who live there. So this is all about the people. And the supporting details don't mess around with scenery. They stick to describing the people and what makes them so intriguing. Keep in mind, the purpose of the details is to explain that point of view about the topic. Not to just explain to people who are the people, but to defend what you're saying about the people, which in this case, they're intriguing people. So everything in here has to be using the examples of the people and explaining what's so intriguing about that. Okay. Then the last one, of course, even if the scenery were dull and people uninteresting, shout outs to the previous two paragraphs there. You don't have to do this in your writing, but that's a nice little flair there. A little bit of literary swag, right? I would still go to Africa to photograph the wildlife. Boom. There is my last topic that would have to be circled, the wildlife. And what point are they making? That they would still go to Africa to photograph the wildlife. And they had kind of put the point of view earlier, impressive wildlife. So everything in here is about the wildlife and why they find it so impressive, why they would go back and photograph it if they could. So in a nutshell, there's the module for you. I hope this helps. I hope this format is familiar to you. Let me know next time we meet if you like this video or not. Okay, I could definitely do this more often. Good luck. Stay safe during the storm. Hurricane Irma is threatening our shores. Take care of your families first and foremost. Don't worry about the deadlines. I could be flexible. We'll adjust it. It is going to be a little bit of an issue for us maybe, but luckily this is happening at the start of the term and we still have time to catch up. All right. First and foremost, worry about your family. Worry about your safety. If you can draft your essay, go ahead. Answer the discussion board. Work on the learning curve assignments. And start drafting your essay. I could be flexible with the deadline on the essay or whatever, but the learning curve and discussion boards, you can get those things going pretty quickly, all right? But focus on your safety first, guys. I will see you next week, God willing, all right? Bye-bye.